Hello, welcome to Music and Stuff. I'm Rob Lewis, and today I'm looking at Red Dwarf Series 2. Yes, series, not season. That's not how we talk about British comedies. It's series. So, this was broadcast between September the 6th, 1988 and October the 11th, 1988. And was written by Rob Grant and Doug Naylor, produced by Paul Jackson and directed by Ed Bye. Starred, of course, the principal cast was Chris Barry as Arnold Rimmer, Craig Charles as Dave Lister, Danny John Jules as the Cat, and Norman Lovett as Holly. It was the last time this would be the principal cast. So, Caesar, I did it myself then. So because I do Quantum Leap and Doctor Who one. Series 2 was an improvement on Series 1, I personally believe. Not necessarily script-wise, but certainly aesthetically, from a budget point of view and an ambition point of view, I think it was an improvement. They were able to do more. It wasn't perfect, but I think they kind of saw what worked and what didn't work with Series 1 and were able to expand on that. So, Episode 1, Kryten, this was broadcast on September the 6th, 88, and starred the main cast, also starring David Ross as the mechanoid Kryten. Now obviously Kryten became a regular character, but not yet. At this point it was just a one-off character played by David Ross as this kind of butler character. Also Tony Slattery, the late great Tony Slattery, made an appearance, or at least his voice did, as one of the androids in the Androids soap opera. Very clever. So, the crew of the Dwarf pick up a distress signal and go to investigate. And they get in contact. This mechanoid appears on the screen and says, "Oh, there's myself and three women on the crashed ship, the Nova 5. Can you come and rescue us?" Of course, 3 women, you know what the main guys are thinking? Well, yes, we're absolutely going to rescue them. They says it's going to take 24 hours to get there. In that time, they all try and tarp themselves up. The Cat refines a spacesuit, and then they get there, and the crew are all dead, and clearly have been dead for a long time. Kryten hadn't registered this. So they take Kryten back to the Dwarf. Rimmer starts abusing it and using him as basically as his slave. And Lister says, don't be like that. Like, be your own person. And that kind of comes back into it again later, after he returns. So yeah, he just makes this single appearance at the moment. And obviously when he comes back later, he's played by a different actor. That's not the last time we hear David Ross on Red Dwarf, though. He does return in Series 4. But yeah, it's a very funny episode, very clever. Sets up the character of Kryten nicely. And I'm kind of glad they didn't introduce him as a full-time character from that point. I don't know whether it would have worked. David Ross was great, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anything negative about David Ross, but I don't think David Ross's portrayal of Kryten would have worked in the stories that came later. I definitely feel that they made the right choice in getting Robert Llewellyn to play Kryten, but I think it was only because David Ross wasn't available. So there's always noise here. I've had a plane, but motorbikes, now it seems I've got someone cutting grass. Yeah, so that was Kryten. Episode 2, Better Than Life, featuring again Tony Hawk's, who was like the unofficial extra cast member who appeared in many different episodes, in many different roles. Bonjour, Holiday Rob here, as you can see from Paris in France. See the wonderful Eiffel Tower behind me. If you're enjoying this video, thank you very much for watching. If you are enjoying it, please like it. You can subscribe to my channel if you like, and hit the notification bell so you can keep up to date with all the stuff I'm putting out. You can find me on the socials, links are in the description. But I better not keep you too long, because Studio Rob will probably moan and say that I'm rude or something like that. So, well, yeah, I do think it was rude, actually, to be fair. I think it was very rude. Still. Yeah, what was it? Tony Hawk's, who played many different roles in many different episodes of Red Dwarf, certainly the first 4 series, and who's also a fantastic author. If you've never read Round Island with a Fridge by Tony Hawk's, you really need to. He did some follow-ups where he did Playing Tennis with the Moldovans, One Hit Wonderland, and A Piano in the Pyrenees, but none of them compare to Round Island with a Fridge, which is hilarious but also kind of inspirational. And he made a film of it, but read the book. Honestly, it is such a fantastic book. I've read it, I don't know, 3 or 4 times now. It is absolutely brilliant. But yes, Tony Hawk's makes an appearance. So Better Than Life is this. They get a male pod, which strikes me as odd, considering, you know, nowadays we don't really have mail as such. It's email and all sorts, but they didn't know that in 1988. And in this male pod is a total immersion video game called Better Than Life, and they basically you totally immerse yourself in it. It's not so much a game in this episode as just it's more of an experience than a game, I think. It's kind of like virtual reality, but you're actually in there. And if you read the book Better Than Life, well, Infinity Welcomes Careful Drivers starts it off, they expand on this much more, in that they spend quite a lot of time in the game and actually kind of lose their memories. So I think it's one of those occasions where the book plays it better, but you would never be able to get that into a half-hour episode. But if they were to, maybe if they were able to make more episodes of Red Dwarf, they could kind of brush over the episode Better Than Life. Well, I ain't got to brush it over. They could do like a mini series or a feature length one where they expand on the stories from the book. I'm kind of waffling a bit now, but I think it would be great to see that with their fantasies, but they actually really become part of it. So that's Better Than Life. I don't really talk about the episode much today, but yeah, we find out that Rimmer's dad's dead. Obviously he's dead, it's 3 million years ago. But yeah, she gets the news about his dad's death, and that he was a disappointment to his dad, blah 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 blah. Great episode. Not the best, and as I said, I think the book explores it better, but it's great. Episode 3, Thanks for the Memory. Now, this isn't a hugely popular one. I think this is a really great episode. It's like a whodunit, where it's celebrating Rimmer's death day. This is in the days before we knew about the light bee, when if they left the ship, Rimmer had to have a cage to project his image. I can see why, from a production point of view, they got rid of that. The subsequent episodes would never have worked if they had to keep dragging this cage around everywhere. But they all get drunk, and they wake up. A few days have gone by. The cat and Lister have got their legs in casts. The jigsaw's been finished. The black box has disappeared. And Rimmer has a new memory that he didn't have before of Lisa Yates, his ex-girlfriend. Actually turns out that it was Lister's memory, and he gave his memory to Rimmer to make him feel better. And it turns out to not be such a good gift. So they erase their memories, and this is, I've explained that really, really badly. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's a very good episode. Series 2 is full of great episodes. And then I get a bit of nostalgia about the next 3 because I remember, I can't remember when they came out. What's about 91, 92. I'll talk about it in one of my magazine reviews. And the VHS release for Red Dwarf Series 2 Part 2 came out, and I'd saved up pocket money so I could buy these 3 episodes, because I'd seen Parallel Universe was the first episode I ever saw, and I just distinctly, vividly remembered the dance sequence at the start. I'm going to go more into that in a moment, but and I was determined to get that episode, and it was on this cassette with the 2 previous episodes, one of which was Stasis Leak. So at that time, Stasis Leak was the oldest episode that I'd watched, if that makes sense. Got to stop doing that with a guitar pick. Very clever. We get to see Kachansky again, and the captain, and Peterson, and more of the kind of working crew. There's a Stasis Leak, and then they go back in time, and Lister's trying to get Kachansky to join, to get in the stasis pod, but Rimmer's trying to convince the young, or the alive Rimmer from back in the day to get in the pod as well. Sounds a bit confusing. I'm not very good at explaining these plots, am I? But it's got some very good moments in it. Cat attacking the ladies. What do you call those things when they got like a dead animal around their neck? I don't like. I think they're awful, but yeah. The talking suitcase. I think that was Tony Hawk's again. But yeah, very great, very good idea, very clever. Yeah, good bit of nostalgia there. Great episode. And then we get to Queeg, which is just so funny. Basically, Holly is deteriorating, and the backup computer, Queeg 500, assumes control and isn't very nice to the crew. Played by Charles Organs, who died recently, or in the last couple of years, I believe. Charles Organs, who'd worked with Danny John Jules before. In fact, I think that's how it came about, because he was a dance choreographer. He'd been in Blake 7 and some other bits and pieces, but he was a dance choreographer, and he had something to do with Labyrinth, which of course Danny John Jules was in that, and the dance sequences in that. He also did the choreography for Tongue Tied in the next episode of Red Dwarf. And I think when they were looking for an actor to play Queeg, Danny John Jules had suggested Charles Organs and said, "We'll get this guy, he's great." Of which he was. He was very good at playing mean. he really was intimidating. But yeah, and then it plays out that Holly is going to get deleted, and they'll be left with this monster of a computer called Queeg. But that's not how it ends up. But I'm not going to say any more than that. And then we get to episode 6, Parallel Universe, which is a fantastic episode. Starts off with Tongue Tied. The song Tongue Tied in the video, it's on Cat's Dream Recorder. Oh my god, it's a good song in and of itself. Yes, it's a comedy song, but it's not that sort of a comedy song. It's played as a genuine song. It's just got some funny moments in it. It's a really good song written by Howard Goodall, was that did the themes. It was how I always get Howard Goodall and Ronnie Hazelhurst mixed up. I think it's Howard Goodall definitely. He did a lot of the TV themes in the sort of 70s, 80s, and 90s, I believe, and probably beyond. You do Blackadder, The Young Ones, Filthy Rich and Cat Flap, things like that. Yeah, great musician, Howard Goodall. Again, I'm tangenting. Is that a word, tangenting? But yes, parallel universe. They travel to a parallel universe in which women are the dominant gender, and the crew have as a female Lister, a female Rimmer, a female Holly called Hilly, played by Hattie Hayridge. Speak more about her in the next video, and a dog. A creature that's evolved from a dog, sort of dog human. Absolutely genius episode. I mean, there are some things you could pick apart with it. Lister getting pregnant by himself, by a female version of himself. But yeah, I think Tongue Tied is definitely the highlight of the episode. And it was kind of, I don't really know why it was there, because it didn't really add anything to the story. It's almost like they had 4 minutes to fill in this episode. Oh, let's put in a musical number. But then the work that goes into that suggests that couldn't have been the case. I think they just wanted to have a musical number in it, but it absolutely works. It's so good. I'm trying to say I'm tongue-tied. I don't know whether this video's been helpful or not. Probably not. But that's not why you're watching this. But yeah, Series 2, it is a marked improvement on Series 1 in most respects. When we get to Series 3, we have the return of Kryten as a full-time cast member, and some changes with Holly and the sets, and there's lots of changes that happen between Series 2 and 3, and I'll talk about them in the next one. But yeah, am I scoring the? I don't think I'm scoring these episodes, am I? I'm only in the second one. I can't be bothered to score them all. I have done a video on me ranking my favourite 10 episodes, and you can see it on this channel. Might put it up there. But thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you in the next one. Catch you later, Bill and Ted.